I think the Kings are a really good team right now. I think that it feels like this Kings team might actually have a chance of making some noise in the playoffs. I feel like no one's kind of crediting how well they're playing in all areas of the game. It's kind of been their power play and offensive upside that's held them back the last 3 years. Well, they've always been incredible defensively. And now you look at the last month, they're top third in terms of goals for per 60. And I think you look at the way that they're doing it, it seems pretty realistic that it can continue. The Byfield Fiala line's been unreal. I'm really high on them. I think they can continue playing at this level. And the Kempe Kopitar unit's been a little colder.
Kempitar.
But they're still really good. And, Drew Doughty's starting to find his game. And it seems like their usage is also getting a little better. I think last year they really didn't want to give Jordan Spence the minutes he deserved. He continues to come into his own here. And yeah, they're getting great goaltending from Kemper. So I think right now the Kings are kind of capable of making any game into a coin flip. They have been significantly better on at home this season, which has kind of been covered a lot. They are below 500 on the road. But I do think to some extent eventually you can figure that out. It'll be interesting to see if that trend holds in the playoffs, where we've kind of seen home ice become much less of a factor for a pretty huge sample now.
Yeah, I like the Kempitar line as well.
Kempitar. People have been saying, what should we call that? The Kuzmenko Kopitar Kempe line.
I know what we shouldn't call them. That's for sure. I'm not going to say it, but I know what we shouldn't call them. That's all I can say. But yeah, like throwing Kuzmenko into the mix there is just lots of skill on that top line.
Yeah, for sure. And the power play is going to need to be better if they're going to finally get past the Oilers. I think that's the one thing. They've been fine 5-on-5 in those series, but you're not going to beat that team with getting nothing from the power play. And that's kind of been the case the last few years. So we'll see. It's looked better lately.
I mean, you look at how things have gone for the Oilers. At first, it took them 7 games, and the next year 6 games, then 5 games to dispatch the Kings in the first round. I think we could see a little bit of regression in that respect this year. I think it might be a little bit tough for the Edmonton Oilers to take out this LA Kings team, especially with how well Darcy Kemper has played this season. So that's a big factor.
For sure. They haven't had a goalie, really. I mean, they've had goalies that looked okay because they're so good defensively, but I don't think they've had one like Kemper, who's, clearly actually been a difference maker, capable of,
giving them a lift.
Yeah, for sure.